Hello and welcome back to the Eternal Dawn YouTube channel. I am your captain, Straw Hat Lucas, and today we are doing something just a little fun, a little bit of an easy and lighter stream than usual. We're going to be getting to the discussion of who, yes, who will claim the One Piece based off of the in-game spread at the end of chapter 1121 of One Piece. Oops, slip of the tongue, One Piece. Let me introduce my fellow crew members who are here with me today. First up, the legendary helmsman, the man who steers the ship and leads us through the Grand Line himself, Mr. Knack Talks. How we doing, Knack?
You gotta stop selling me up so much in intros. I gotta live up to these, you know? I can't just, let this stuff slide. So now I gotta be the best. But I'm doing great, and I will try to live up to your expectations, Cap.
Yeah, of course. I know you will. Next up is my first mate, my right-hand man, the historian of the Eternal Dawn, Mr. Kube of the Red Sea.
What up, guys? So yeah, we love watching pirates try to claim things. So I think this is the perfect content for us. Who will be the one to finally get it? Who'll be the one? No, babe. Think about it. Like we're finally gonna know who's the one who's gonna make who made the best friends along the way.
No,
not quite.
This is more so just like a clear understanding here. This is more so about who in the story do we think is most likely to achieve it? Who's most likely to get it?
Yeah.
And then we're going to rank them in order of that. So you may see your favorite character on the lower rank. That just means we think other characters are more likely to get the One Piece, not that they're not sufficient in their own right to get it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yes. And I am ready to dive in. Let me explain some rules, though, real quick for the crew and the audience. So because there are a limited selection of players in this in-game section of the story, we are limiting each tier to a certain number of people. D, C, and B tier will be inhabited by 3 individuals apiece. A tier will be inhabited by 2 individuals, and S tier will be reserved for who we think is most likely to claim the One Piece. Now, I know, audience, you're thinking, obviously, Luffy's going to go in S tier, but there are some arguments for, I think, at least one other person here.
Absolutely.
Maybe even two.
Absolutely.
And
we're going off the panel from 1121, right?
Yes. As I said in the introduction, yes, at the end of chapter 1121, we saw these goats spread out. Of course, Shamrock has been revealed in full to us now, so we used that image of him instead of his little shadowy self, but let's get started, guys. I think the easiest way to go about this, and shout out Chestnut Tanuki for showing me this tactic, is to figure out who is least likely to get this first.
Well, that's easy. But if anybody else wants to say something, then go ahead. But I know right away who's least likely here.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dragon. What are we talking about? He's not even looking for it.
I thought he said in that chapter though that he was going for it.
No, this is narrator talk.
So you say Dragon. Cube, what about you?
Dragon or Sabo? They gotta be the bottom. They're trying to change the world. They're not looking for treasure.
All right, so Cube, who's your first nomination for D tier? Naxxus Dragon, which is crazy.
No, I think Dragon and Sabo is in C because and I'll give, if you want, I'll give my first the one I think is the least right now from that list of people. For me is Kube.
Kobe?
Yeah.
Kobe?
The man who has committed himself to stopping Luffy? How do you stop Luffy from getting the One Piece? You get the One Piece.
Exactly. I
don't know, man. Kobe was pretty high on my list.
Same. I had him.
I'll explain
if I'm
why.
Being honest.
When we get to the ranking of those people, I'll explain why I think Kobe on the
Well,
way
let's
he
just
is
start
right
off
now.
with individuals. Where do you want to put Kobe? You're saying D tier?
From the ones I see right now, that's the one I would put in D tier. D tier.
Kobe and D is crazy. I would pick Kobe and B, bro. If anyone is going to be like someone who is like, if Luffy and Kobe actually have a throwdown, it'll be like right before Luffy goes to Left Tail. It'll be after the war, after everything. That is when, because Kobe was his first rival.
Do we debate now, or are we putting who we think deep?
No,
Because,
no.
yeah,
We
that's
have
fine.
to
We're fine.
decide on initial placements, and then as we go through the stream and discuss more, we may shift characters up and down where they are.
Okay.
But we still have to put them somewhere every time we go to a character. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think Kobe's a D.
So I'll now explain why I think Kobe
Cap's saying he's a B. So how about we compromise on C for right now? And as the discussion goes further, we can shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but all right.
Because it's not slander. It's not slander. It's not slander. When I'll explain it, you'll see what I mean by that. Because there's actually a lot behind it.
Okay.
It's not me slandering Kobe.
Okay, so we're Kobe off the list. So then, say your piece on Dragon then. He was my first pick. I would put him D.
D.
I put Dragon and Sabo at C.
Yeah,
not the lowest, but not third.
I feel the same way as Q, but I would put him in the lowest of C. I feel like his role in the final endgame of One Piece will be something entirely separate from that part of it. He will probably play a bigger part in oh goodness, in stopping the world government side of things during this final war that is being set up right now. So I say like lowest C. So what do we think compromise wise? Where are we putting Dragon?
D for Dragon. Y'all know my takes.
D for Dragon. Yeah, but
Boo this man.
I am comfortable putting him in the bottom of C right now.
Yeah, I'm comfortable as well.
Okay, bottom of C. Next, boo this man. Pirate King Buggy. Controversial. A. If anyone fails upwards to it, yeah,
I agree.
No, I'm not even arguing. Top tier.
Oh, so that's our first lock in.
Yeah,
okay, that is our first lock in. Who do we place next? Because I don't want to do Luffy just yet.
Kuzan. I mean, the Sabo. We both all agreed a bit Sabo's around C, so let's just already put Sabo in C. Then we could do it when we go through every rank. We'll see where exactly he is. No.
I did not say that I wanted to put Sabo in C.
Okay. I was just joking.
Would put Sabo in D, because I think even though that Sabo is a revolutionary, his love for his brother will overcome that, and he'll realize that making sure Luffy can get the One Piece is more important than like helping anyone else get it, or the Revs going after it in any manner. So obviously he's a GOAT, but I think D as well. Probably like top of D.
Sabo?
Yeah.
You have Sabo over Dragon.
Yeah, I would say that. I would agree.
Or Sabo under Dragon. Sorry.
Sabo under Dragon. Yeah.
No, for me, I would
Dragon's not even going to survive to Laugh Tale, bro.
Okay, meme aside. We've seen many times. Right now, Dragon is probably everything for Sabo to lead. So for me, with that logic, Sabo has to be in front of Dragon, because I think Dragon's
going down, boys.
Yeah, I think that means that Sabo goes in C, and Dragon gets a drop to D.
Yes.
I mean, listen, guys. For those who don't wonder, don't forget Nak is pro revolution, Celestial Dragons. He doesn't like the revolution.
No, I'm not. I think Sabo has way more of a chance than Dragon.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. For me, it's just because we know Dragon is probably outfit for Sabo, so he doesn't even want it in that regards. I would agree on that.
All right, I'm okay with this. Who's next? Is it Luffy next?
No. Let's choose Emo and Luffy at the end, because that's just like.
Yeah, those are the two biggest players. Actually,
so
there's
Kuzan.
Kuzan.
Kuzan, okay.
Okay.
I don't know if he'd want to go for it. If I'm being
So my
honest.
thing is,
I think he does. If
yeah.
he's with Blackbeard.
So my thing is that the problem I have with Kuzan is, even though he's a force for it, in terms, he's not, for me, he's never shown it to be really leader material. Always clashing for that real material all the time, you know? Part of the three Yonkos, then the three admirals, then fighting for the three fleet, for the fleet with another person. I would put him at B. I think he has a motivation, but I just don't see him surpassing all the other ones that we see here.
Well, here's the thing. It's who claims it, right? And like Kusa said in the chat earlier, like, even if Blackbeard gets to left, he's getting there with Kuzan. So at that point, there needs to be a fight over who claims it. And then are you saying Kuzan gets the one up on Blackbeard?
Yeah, I don't see that.
Right? So, questionable, but I think B is fair for Kuzan.
Yeah, B.
I do too.
He has the potential. It's not about physical, it's about, I think, in terms of will, wanting it. And it's
he's
like
smart enough.
He's smart enough, but I think that if it's like Blackbeard or someone else, a will thing to have it, I just think that his will has wavered in the past.
He's smart enough to get it out from Blackbeard's nose, I think. But it's not highly likely.
Yeah.
So what were we thinking then? B?
Yeah.
For
Okay.
B better, Kuzan.
For B better, Kuzan. So next up is Blackbeard. I think this is the other A tier. I think him and Buggy.
It's A. Blackbeard is
A tier.
Dude, 20 years he did nothing, and then in 6 months he's done 20 years of work, 50 years of work. Dude's definitely a contender with Buggy and A.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And not only that, but narratively, in my mind, and I think most of the community's mind, I don't want to speak for everybody, of course. It's pretty evident that when it comes to actual contenders for the One Piece, these three kind of lead that front: Luffy, Buggy, and Blackbeard.
Yep.
Buggy,
Yeah.
in my opinion, will probably sit on the world throne before getting the One Piece and become like faux king of the world kind of thing. But that's right up there with it, right? So yeah, I'm gonna put Blackbeard up here, but I'm gonna put him in front of Buggy because Buggy will achieve it by failing upwards. Then we have a Kainu.
Okay, so mine is very controversial. He's either in A or in S.
Well, see, we only have 2 slots in A, so that would mean Blackbeard or Buggy would have to come out of A. I think Akainu is C because he's a Marine. I don't think a Marine's gonna get it.
No, but it's the same. Okay, let's take the same knowledge you said about Kube, right? Like, there's a knowledge about the One Piece, stuff like that. Because of Akainu's obsession of he wants piracy to be gone completely, and the worst thing he would want is Pirate King, and he has absolute justice. And Oda did say that the moment Akainu would decide to go after the One Piece, he'll find it the fastest. In less than a year, he would get it. That's why I think that he might even have certain knowledge, because Oda's saying that One Piece is not just about going it, so he also has the knowledge. I think that if he puts his mind, like he decides to end piracy, I will go to and destroy the One Piece. So claim it to destroy it, or to corrupt it, whatever. That's why I feel like he is a big candidate if he ever makes that decision, because of how he is as a person.
My argument here is we don't even know if the Marines want to go get the One Piece, if there even is a desire for it.
I'm using the logic of Kube. The logic gets used with Kube. I'm using the same logic of Kube. If there's a switch that the Marines are interested by the One Piece, I think he's the best Marine candidate because of how he is. He'll never stop. He will kill even his allies to reach to it. We've seen it at Marineford. What do you do? You know what I mean? What do you do when the guy's who's powerful and able to take out his own friends?
See, I think he would be in the more reasoning of Kube, where instead of it like they're going for the One Piece, it's stop whoever is closest to getting the One Piece.
We could put him to B. If you want, we could put it to B for right now over Kuzan. Definitely.
What do you think, Nick?
I know. He could definitely do something for it. He'd need a character shift. Right now, his motivations aren't anything in line with that. But if he's learned some truth about the world, he'd want to see it for himself, I think.
Yeah.
So
if he jump into the story wherever and get the One Piece in 6 months, we already know this. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Cube said. So
I said the same thing. Like, what do you want to do? Absolute justice, guys. Now? Yeah.
B,
What's on
yes.
Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah. B is good.
I'll put him
Yeah,
over
that's
Kuzan
right.
because we already know he can beat him up. Hmm.
Garling.
Garling
Yeah,
The
let's
next.
pick
Figureland family. The Figureland family up next.
Yeah, the
Dude,
entire Figureland family's like up next.
So I'll be honest with you. This is why I didn't want to put Dragon in D. I think he's a C. He's D. For what we've seen right now,
Honestly.
especially with, about I think none of the person who's a Gorosei would want to go to Laughter or claim it. From what we've seen.
Yeah. That's
I,
pretty
right
good
now,
logic.
I see any plot. I see no plot. But sorry. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much.
No, you're good.
No,
you're
good.
good.
Garling. I don't know what he knows. See, this is the problem. He wouldn't be in this panel if he was just stuck in his ways and he was going to stay at Mary Joa the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I
don't know.
But I wouldn't put him C tier.
C?
Yeah,
Dragon's not going to make it.
Yeah, I'm torn. I'm torn between.
But
C
it's not about to make it. It's who have the motivation and willing to do it. Like who possibly, like if everything goes right for them.
Garling's more likely, in my opinion, to get there than Dragon because I don't think Dragon survived.
Yeah, but you're going off an idea that he's going to die. So everyone's predicting Shanks' death as well. But we have to put it aside. I just think like if you take out the death aspect or the unalive aspect of both of them, let's say they survive until the end of the story. With what he's seen in the story, I think there's more chances for Dragons and Garling. There's nothing that indicates that interest for him. That's my problem. You see what I mean? He is really loving being the god of gods.
I don't see Dragon going at all. I'll be honest. He is my lowest on this list.
That's the same logic as I used for Sabo. I don't see him or Sabo really
Garling
wanting
could
to
be
go for it.
To go get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he'd do it.
I see them as like opposite of the argument we've been using for the Marines, where it's they'd rather Luffy go get it and stop whoever in the world government is trying to go get it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
For Garling, like I said, I'm torn between C and D. I think his main role will be trying to help Emu achieve whatever they're trying to achieve, whether that be getting the One Piece or taking out Luffy before he can get the One Piece. Do I have a coin?
Yeah, like I said, just for me, with what we saw in the motivation is he's not enough focus on what we see outside Mary Joa for me to think that he would want something, that's why. Emu I can understand.
Audience, you can't see this, but I promise I'm flipping a coin right now. So let's see. Cube, call it. Heads or tails?
Tails. I'm not gonna say heads.
Ah, sweet. He's going into D. Should have called
it. But again, between Garling and Dragon, it is a tough one. I would agree on that. It is really a tough one between those two.
Winston saying Akainu just wants a safe word for him and his daughter is peak. I love how we all have just accepted that Hyberia is his daughter. We're all just like, yep, that's canon. Next up in the Figureland trio here, we have Shanks. D tier. He's a rat.
Right.
For me, it's
S tier.
For me, it's B.
Yeah. Would you say S tier? I want to hear your reasoning.
S tier. What do you mean?
Only
he knows
one
more than anybody, and said he's going in. He's going for it. Only one is going in S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's A then, I guess, by that standard.
So
you gotta put Luffy in S.
Okay, yeah, let's get that out of the way right now. Who wants to put Luffy in S? Because it's me,
I
Mac.
want to. Yeah,
okay.
As well.
Yeah, Luffy's going in S tier. Might as well get it out of the way now. So, if Luffy's in S, I think Shanks is B. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I don't think Buggy has more of a shot to get it than Shanks
So I'll
does.
explain. Actually, okay. I'll explain why Buggy has more of a chance than Shanks, and why well, at least Blackbeard and Buggy. How we're seeing right now in the story, I feel like the way that Shanks is doing it is the most laziest way of doing it. He's really waiting his time. Blackbeard and Buggy, and don't forget, yes, Buggy might be not that smart as Blackbeard, but he has Crocodile and Mihawk behind him. Like, that's real powerful, Like, Cross Guild is a form of foe, and I just feel like with Shanks, the way he's doing it, he's either backing someone, so he's just gonna find someone who's gonna claim the One Piece, and he's just gonna be there. But I don't see him as just like Buggy and Blackbeard, like having the ego enough of I'm just gonna run for it.
Yeah.
He has had because of being a Roger pirate and having more information than Buggy, it seems. He's had the most opportunity, and I just feel like with what we've seen right now, it's lacking. So definitely not C like Kobe and Sabo, but I cannot put him at the ranks of Buggy and Blackbeard, where they've been just in the last 2 years. Luffy, Buggy, and Blackbeard, the rise to power is just crazy. Shanks has been doing slowly in the last 20 years. That's my reason why.
I'm gonna put him in B, top of B, just for right now, since we are gonna do a little bit of reorganizing once we get everyone on the board.
Yeah, we'll reorganize them. Now, Ratlock.
Yeah, Ratlock. This is top of C for me. I mean, he has more of a chance than Garling or Dragon, in my opinion. But at the top, I think bottom of C. I don't think that's his ambition. If anything, he's a support role, just like Garling.
He went to Elbaf and felt like he was being forced to go to work with his mom. It looked like yeah, well, didn't even care about Loki, what he was saying about being a Slasso dragon. Yeah, just let it be. I don't know. Now, what's your thought on Shamrock? I really have no idea, no clue.
Oh, Shamrock's going in D tier.
I said C. Bottom of
Shamrock
C.
don't stand a chance, bro.
Well, I'm saying that because I think Emu has the least amount of chance to get the One Piece.
What if? I don't know.
Yeah, Emu's okay. So Emu's the dangerous one right here. So what do we go for Shamrock? C or D? I'm okay with both of them.
I'm going D all day.
You're going D?
I won't lie to you. If Dragon is put into D, Shamrock has to follow them. Has to follow them. If
Dragon should be an E at this point.
Yeah, dude. Listen, dude. Because he knows I love the rev. He's trying to trigger me. He's not gonna affect me.
It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah, man.
Out of all these characters, he's next to go down.
Kuma must be crying right now. You all heard it here. Nak wants the revs to fail. That's who he is. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna put Shamrock in D, but I really think, since we're on Emu now, that Emu should go into D as well. I mean, and so we should move up Shamrock to C. Yeah, because thematically, they don't give a shit about the treasure. Like Cody said this in chat just a little bit ago. They don't give a damn about the treasure in their world. They control the world. The thing they care about is stopping Nika from getting that treasure. Or whatever Nika be doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about getting the One Piece for them. It's about control.
So here's my thing, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kube, and then I got one.
Yeah, Emu, if we've seen it from all the people from the Slazzle side, the one who has the worst personality, like everything belongs to them, is Emu, right? Because of that, I think by that logic, Emu considers everything in this world that is rightfully theirs, right? Because of that logic, I think he has a bigger claim than anyone from C to D. Just because of that mindset.
It doesn't matter if he finds it; he's gonna claim it as his own. Yeah, the papers are gonna scream that the One Piece was found by the world government.
Yeah, like Emu, everything. That's what I said. At least, so he beats Shamrock, Dragon, Garling, Sabo, and Kobe. What we've been saying. At least that I see him. Now B is different. Like, does he deserve to be an A or B? I don't know.
A.
If we put Emu in A, that kind of works out in my favor. Because it would drop
If
Kuzan down to C.
If Emo finds out that if countries will kneel to the world government, more countries, if he has the One Piece, Emo will do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put Emu in B and put Kuzan in C for right now. And then now is the time to lock in where we're gonna be putting these bad boys. So I think we can safely assume Luffy is staying in S no matter what. Like thematically, storyline wise, he is the one who's going to do the thing. Like plot wise, yeah, he's gonna be the one. But that leaves the rest of the board up for debate.
So I can tell you who is going to be top of A. You could already switch it. I think it's Buggy should be over Blackbeard.
Really?
Because I've said this. Because of how basically Blackbeard, what we've seen is, yes, they're all powerful people, but in terms of intelligence, Blackbeard's the one. I feel like the danger with Buggy is he has literally a mastermind who founded like Borkworks for 16 years without being caught by the world government. I just think like having Buggy's charisma, Mihawk's strength, and Crocodile's mind makes him a crazy candidate.
Yeah.
And I think Blackbeard is an advantage, but I feel like his compared to those two behind Buggy, I think his crew is a disservice for him if it's a game of strategy. And Buggy has more luck than Blackbeard.
Knack, what do you think?
Buggy can go over Blackbeard.
Okay.
I'm still not sure on their actual likelihood of all this, other than the fact of plot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see motivation for Blackbeard to get it. I don't see motivations of Buggy to get it. Actually, we've seen statements from Buggy about going for the One Piece.
He did make the claim. He did make the claim.
Yeah, in Egghead, he made the claim to his crew that he's going for it. Like, I would agree with you up until that point. Just because like he didn't really show interest in it, and we saw the flashback that he thought Shanks was going to be the one to do it. So I think as it stands right now,
he can go over Blackbeard for sure.
Exactly. I have at least one character I'm ride or die for needs to go in B, and it's Kube. I think Kube has more of a shot than Akainu at getting closer to the One Piece. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's the power, but we're talking about plot here, right? That is the main factor that is setting this tier list up. And plot-wise, like I said, I think Kube will be on the front lines, last person to try to stop Luffy before he gets to Laugh Tale, mirroring the fact that he was his first ally when he went out to sea. He'll be his final foe.
So here's my thing, and you know what? Actually, because when you guys said it, I thought of it after the fact, and you said with Sabo. I think as much what you guys said with Sabo goes as much with Kube as well. I think at the end of the day, unless if Luffy is because he understands the proper dreams and he puts Luffy in, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Kube puts Luffy in a higher pedestal than Sabo does. And I think unless Luffy is unalived, Kube would never. He would basically, he might want to, but at the last second he's gonna hold back.
I don't think he will.
I just think right now where he doesn't have that cold heart at times. He still has that issue. Look at Hashinosu. He cannot keep that,
Well, let me paint a picture for you. Let me paint a picture for both of you. Is this. Imagine it like this. Kube will only have second-hand information while Luffy will have all of the information by that point in the story, right? Luffy will know, I have to turn the world upside down, I have to make sure the flood happens, or whatever it is that needs to be done. While Kube will only know, if Luffy does this, the world will turn upside down, and he'll want to stop Luffy from doing that until the fight in which Luffy would be able to tell him what's really going on. And Kube would trust him, like you say, with the whole dreams aspect. It's not just about Luffy's dream at this point, it's about what the world needs. And Kube, damned as he is for being a Marine, is a good Marine. He wants the best for the people of the world. So I think that he, like I said, he'll more than likely be one of Luffy's final fights in the series.
So final fight for sure. I just think because the idea is to claim the One Piece, right? So let's say they're both on the island. I think that if they're on the island and basically Luffy wants to go, Kube, instead of going for the One Piece, he's going to spend his time stopping Luffy and trying to talk him out of it instead of actually doing it. That's my thing. I think he values Luffy much more. Yeah.
That's why Luffy's
That's-
higher, though.
And why I want to put Kobe higher than he is now. I want to put him in B tier and move Akainu down to C.
No, if you put them the same context on both of them, what you said right now, I put Akainu over Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe,
but see, I think
Akainu
Akainu
suffered
falls
no one.
before that. Between Sabo and Luffy and what he did to Ace, I think Kainu doesn't even make it to Laugh Tale.
Yeah, but we have to take that aside because then there's also the death flags for Shanks or other people as well.
Yeah, we
if
can
you do
include
that, you know,
those
like
as well. It's
yeah.
about plot.
You can include those.
We also have a prediction of Luffy's lifespan is supposed to be shortened every time he uses his gears. So maybe Luffy will also be. I think it's good, but it's.
You can make that argument, but I just don't think it's strong. But I think
Yeah,
it's
for-
definitely a strong argument that Dragon doesn't make it to the end of the story.
Yeah, for me it's not.
I don't think it's a
for me,
strong
not an
argument for Luffy to not make it to the end of the story.
I just think, for me, I think the not being able to come, we should put that aside and just say, let's say they're all equal ground. They're all racing for the One Piece.
Mhm.
Who's gonna get it first? That's the idea.
But we're not
It's
changing
not
the plot.
obstacle.
Right now in the story, who's most likely to get it is all we're talking about.
Yeah, and
Like,
I
we're
think
not changing what's
Yeah.
happening.
Well,
But I
It
think
okay,
gives
right
them
now-
all new motivation.
Nak, you're a tiebreaker here. I think Kobe should go in B. Cube says C. You've heard both of our sides. I'm going to treat your
I think Kobe
answer-
is higher.
You think Kobe is higher?
I said right from the get-go.
Well, that's that then. Is he above Shanks and Emu, though?
Nope.
No. No.
Okay.
No. Because, see, I know Shanks has been dragging his heels for years, but he only just made proclamation he's going to decide to go for it. And even Beckman was surprised by that. I think
Yeah.
Beckman's surprised because he's had the capabilities to go for it all this time and never did it. That's why I have Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, wow, you're interested in that now?
Yeah. So, who else we think needs to be moved around? Kobe was my biggest one.
Kanu's probably lower on the Kobe. Or not Kobe, Sabo.
Explain.
Unless Akainu is given a whole new motivation in this story, he doesn't seem to be wanting to go for the One Piece.
Mhm.
And Sabo seems to be involved with all parties that are headed towards Laugh Tale.
Yeah, I would agree. on
It would
that.
just be more opportunity for Sabo. It's not like there's not a good... Like, I don't have a big reason to put him above it, but other than opportunity.
No, and my thing is this, right? If for the Rev, they realize something changes and they want to claim the One Piece, they'll do it.
And that's more likely than Akainu getting
Yeah.
the call to go get the One Piece right now, in my opinion.
So, do we
Yeah,
think
don't forget.
Sabo gatekeeps C? Like top of C?
Yeah.
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 That
Yeah.
puts a
Yeah,
Kainu
because
at the
for
bottom of C.
Kuzan to get it, that means he has to outsmart Blackbeard in his final moments, and that's a big ask.
That is a huge ask, yeah.
Yeah, gonna be tough. You
That would
imagine
be
the end of the
tough.
story, you see like Kuzan in like a paper. Pirate Kuzan claims the One Piece. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that either, but being honest.
Right, right. No, you got to put it in the space. The same with Shat. Like, I'm not changing D tier. They're not getting it.
No, D
But-
tier's locked in. Like, those guys are not getting it.
But like Kuzan's definitely bottom after.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he kind of falls into that same line of thinking for me as Garling and Shamrock do, where it's
A lot of circumstances have to come into play.
exactly. No, that, but they're mostly support roles, right? The only reason Dragon's down there is because Nak just he's gonna die.
Like it's a point.
Do you-
that's gonna
do you-
be-
Okay, you guys tell me an MC that still has their dad.
Ichigo?
Does he?
Yes, his dad's a very loving father.
His dad is the worst. His dad
Gone,
hacks him with drop kicks
gone,
as soon as he gets
gone.
home.
With
Gone
love,
from
kicks
Hunter
of
x
love.
Wow.
Gon from Hunter x Hunter
You never
barely
just
has his
Gon.
father. Don't even.
His dad's alive. His dad's alive. No, his dad's alive. He met him and his dad's
See,
alive. I'm
correct.
sorry.
His donor is alive.
His daughter, oh god.
Don't recognize him as his father, you know? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Every relationship is different.
I guess. Craziest statement from Cube all stream. By that same vein, you could say, you know, Ed and Al still have their dad. Like,
Actually, yes, there's also another one.
Oh my
What's
God.
called? There's another one as well. SSJ8 Cody still has Gojo. As you know, it's
it's
Gojo
his daddy,
is his spirit. Yeah, like his daddy. So
No comment.
Shout out SSJ8 Cody. We love you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us last week on our chapter discussion for 1154. If you've not seen that yet, go check that out. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so I think, is this it, boys? Are we locked in for this as our tier list? Did we
Yeah,
cook?
I'm going to. I mean, listen, I'm gonna put aside the only one I'm, obviously I'm still not happy with the placement of Kobe, but other than that, I'm happy with the rest. I think the rest is quite accurate with the motivations we have of them.
What did we get wrong, chat?
Yeah, chat, let us know. Like I said, this isn't going to be a shorter stream than usual. We just wanted to come on and have fun this week, especially with how crazy things have been manga-wise lately. So get ready for Saturday. We are going to be cooking. But chat, let us know right now. What would you change in this? We'll take it into consideration before we get out of here today. I feel pretty happy with it, though.
Now everybody knows where I stand on Dragon.
Yeah, he's a bum. I honestly would have put him in C and Kuzan in D, but because of how hard you were writing that he will die, I'm going to allow it. D for die, boys.
It could have been E for E ain't getting it.
He ain't getting it. Kobe deserves C. Thanks, Cube, for commenting as the Eternal Dawn today.
What do you mean, dude? I'm on my account. Look.
That was just, listen, this is Cube laying a paper trail so he can say he's on his account.
What do you mean, dude? I'm on.
Yeah, dude, what?
I'm on my account.
Oh, goodness.
No, but with everything aside, it's just what's called so for me, obviously, if I look at A and B, I think it's but also the problem is that starting from Kobe, the motivation becomes very difficult. You know what I mean?
It does.
There's in D we know nothing of Shamrock, nothing of Garling. We know a bit more of Dragon, and that's not barely a bit more. We barely got him with Egghead, you know what I mean? And that's where we got the most of Dragon.
Yeah, I feel like D is pretty locked in.
Was still a mystery.
Yeah, I feel like C also pretty locked in. B, though, I feel like we could put Shanks above Emu. Because like I said, that is a big factor. What Cody had said earlier in the chat, where Emu doesn't necessarily care about the things going on in the world. They just want the control. So I think Shanks, with him being the other Yonko, I feel like we need to put him above Emu. Because those are the four people actively seeking the One Piece from what we've seen in the story. What are we thinking, boys?
I mean, yeah, the problem is that, we know almost nothing of Emu, so I do see.
Yeah. It's the writing's on the wall. So I think having Luffy in S, Buggy and Blackbeard in A, Shanks in B right there at the top, that's like perfect for the four current emperors of the world. Followed up by the current ruler of the world, as we know them, Mu. Then we have Kobe Bryant right there. Followed up by the Flame Emperor himself, who I believe will take out the next entry, Akainu. Followed up by Kuzan, who does not stand a chance against Blackbeard. That said, though, actually, I don't know. Kuzan did almost take out the Blackbeard pirates in that bar.
Dude, we saw what. No, dude, we think of how Garp just shockwaved from inside the ice thing with using his hockey.
Oh yeah.
Blackbeard has the Gora. I do see how the A can take over him, but I just feel like if he's really good with the Gora, he will just shatter his ice like it's nothing. Yeah. And he has crazy motivation.
Yeah, shout out Edward Newgate in chat, Whitebeard himself. I agree, brother. No one was as close as you were. I am satisfied with this list, though. How we feeling, boys? We ready to close her out?
Yeah, sure.
Wait. Let's.
I see chapter reaction coming the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For everyone, let's just, before we continue talking, let's give Nak a moment, please, to just view a dragon, because he thinks dragon is no more in the story soon. So we want him to take, have a moment with his character.
Look east.
Take the time you need, Nak. Yeah, take the.
No, he
take
gotta have his final fight. He's still in for now.
Oh, okay. It's good. It's good. You've got.
That's
You've
growth.
got standards, Yeah, it's good, man. You have conditions to his.
Yeah, in only 41 minutes of stream, Knack has grown so much.
He'll survive, baby.
With that,
And then we need.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Never mind.
No.
I won't
Say
say
it.
it. I was gonna say then we need round 2 of Marine 4, but it's dragon this time.
Luffy be like, I don't care about it.
But
Who's that?
I'm convinced of that. I'll be honest with you. I'm convinced that's how we might get the dragon story similar to Whitebeard during a war. The world's strongest man was introduced this way. The world's most heinous criminal could be introduced this way as well. They both have a similar title, so
Fair enough.
it felt like he's a man of war, not a man of peace.
Alrighty, so that is it for us here at the Eternal Dawn today. Thank you all for joining us. It was a very fun, simple, sweet little stream, like I'd said before. We'll see you all, as Knack said, on Saturday for a very, very, very spicy chapter talk. It's going to be a great time. Always are. And with that, Cube, why don't you take us out, baby?
We'll see you all at the next Knack Rise. Peace.
What